Hello, what is up guys? It's me, the Gaming Pig, back with review 2 of the FNAF AR wave of figures that is just released. And here we go with System Air Toy Bonnie. In my last video, I reviewed VR Toy Freddy, so if you want to watch that, go ahead and check it out in the corner. But let's move on to System Air Toy Bonnie, guys, because this is a really good figure. But there's a lot to talk about with this guy. With VR Toy Freddy, I was kind of felt like I don't really know what to say. He's a cool figure, but I don't know. I didn't really have any strong opinions. This guy I do, and I definitely want to talk about this guy because I think that he's one of the better figures in this wave, and there's just a lot of interesting choices they did though. So let's go ahead and get into this. So right off the bat, just look at that red color. Actually, in person it does look pretty orangish. Not super red, really. Probably could be a little bit darker of a color if I'm trying to nitpick. But man, just it astounds me that we're getting these skins before the characters, because this Toy Bonnie looks amazing. I just would be amazed to see what the actual Toy Bonnie would end up looking like if they ever did do that. But for the skin that we got for this figure, looks really cool, and it's pretty accurate. And I'd say the colors are actually kind of lighter in person than I'm picking up on this camera, so take that as you will. But probably the most obvious thing you'll notice is all these lines going through Bonnie. They're on every part of his body. They're everywhere. Really insane sculpt work. What this is trying to represent is kind of the mind screen effect that goes on the sides of Toy Bonnie in the game FNAF AR. And honestly, I think it looks pretty good, especially in lights. You can definitely kind of get that effect from it. And one thing I will note about this figure is he glows a bit more of an orange than the rest. All the other figures in this wave glow a green, glow in the dark color. This guy glows a bit of an orange color because, well, he kind of is, orange reddish figure. So it's really cool. Now I will say, when I was opening him, I was horrified that these ears were gonna pop off. Here's why. They made the plastic really soft on these guys for some reason, assuming it's because of the glow in the dark feature, but the ears are super weak because of it. So you really got to watch out for that when you're taking this guy out of the package. I was really scared. Like they were bending pretty well. So you do have to watch out for that. Speaking of the ears though, really cool how one of the ears is bent and the other is standing straight up. Just really nice effect. I will say there's a little bit of messy paint going on here in the ears. So that's kind of something to note. Again, I can talk so much about this figure because with VR Toy Freddy, guess what? You had this paint and this paint, and that's it. Oopsie. With System Air Toy Bonnie, there's a bit more paints than most of the other figures, so it's I can go a bit more in depth. Speaking on articulation, this is probably the best articulating one in this set for me. Just works out perfectly. Yeah, just amazing. He can move his head up and down really well, which, I know is kind of weird to say, but a lot of the other figures that we'll mention in the future videos cannot really move their head up and down all that well. So this figure is pretty impressive on that front. And he's got the 3 fingers, just like the toy animatronics are supposed to, and they're sculpted super well. It's one of the cooler things, honestly. And then he does have his bow tie. They added that. And then they added system error on the stomach. And while you might think, oh, that's kind of weird, there's some messy paint, I actually think that's meant to be the glitchy text, because the skin itself in FNAF AR has glitchy text, kind of. So yeah, and it's pretty accurate. Like, this is basically exactly how it looks in game. So really well done there. You'll notice that the engraving kind of stops to allow them to put this on here on the stomach, and then it continues around literally every other part of the body. So that's pretty cool. I like that they painted the mouth, eyes, just the mouth in particular, a different color. Because again, if we're bringing in VR Toy Freddy here, they didn't, and they actually also do not do that for High Score Toy Chica. So I just think those ones end up looking a little bit odd. They got this so good. They actually painted in the mouth very well. Is Toy Bonnie's snout supposed to be this long? Because, like, that's one thing I will note. It feels like that's way too long. I could just be, like, completely nitpicking, and it actually is kind of that long, but you probably could have made it a little bit shorter, and it would have been fine. But, yeah. Oh, also, he has his tail there, which is sticking out a little bit and is on kind of the waist part. So that's completely accurate as well. One thing to note is you can see the, whole thing again. Because the stomach is painted, luckily though, you don't actually see the dots that we see in every other figure, just in the middle of the chest there. So that's kind of a nice perk. And they really got the proportions of Toy Bonnie well. It's one thing I'll note about all these figures except one of them. With at least the ones with the new sculpts, like Toy Freddy and Toy Bonnie, they're each different. Like, these aren't even like the same, like, just with different engravings. Like, no, Freddy's is a little bit bigger and shorter, while System or Toy Bonnie's limbs are, a little bit slimmer because that's how he is in game. And it's just a really cool feature, or addition. Is that they weren't lazy with these new sculpts. Each and every one's a little bit different, which they are in game, so it's great to see. Final little thing with paints is that the eyebrows and nose are painted white, so that's pretty cool. And again, articulation is just fantastic on this figure. All around, really like it. Trying to see the copyright. On Toy Freddy's, the copyright was 2021, which is really interesting to see there. But yeah, so honestly, this is probably my favorite figure out of this wave, besides maybe one other that we'll get to. I think this figure's pretty spot on. Probably the best one. I like System or Toy Bonnie, is one of my favorite skins. So I'm happy with this figure. They did him justice. And you get part of the Arcade Mayhem wave. Of course, 8-Bit Baby's not here because an 8-Bit figure would be dang near impossible. But yeah, this is a great figure. I really like it. Great sculpt work. Paint is nice overall, and more detail than most of the other figures. So that's going to do it for today's video on System Era Toy Bonnie. Stay tuned for the next one on High Score Toy Chica, and then I'll probably do the Wasteland skins after that. And then we'll be done, so until we get the exclusives. So yeah, stay tuned for all that, and until next time, see you guys later.